All right, folks. The time to win up to $2,000 begins now. It is about 6:30 in the morning. Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm Paul Cheon, and we are in day 2 of the Arena Open, draft number 1. So what does that mean? Well, we're going to start things off with draft number 1, and if things go well, we make it into draft number 2, which will hopefully give us a shot at $2,000. We're going to be playing best 2 out of 3 matches. And basically, I need to pick up 3 wins before I pick up my second loss. So a record of 3-1 will be good enough to make it into the second draft. Now, if I get 4 wins, what that means is when I make it into the second draft, I have a loss to give. And what that means is once I get into the second draft, I need to go 4-0 to make $2,000. If I have 3 wins. If I have 4 wins, then I can go 4-1. I actually have a loss to give. So going 4-0 in the first pot is always something that you really want to do. You just want to win as many matches as possible. And that's the plan going into this draft. So win. It is winning time. Now, before I head into this draft, I just wanted to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Check out TCGplayer.com for all your TCG singles and sealed product needs. Whether or not you need to pick up that booster box of foundations or some singles to round out your constructed decks, make sure you check them out and click that affiliate link in the description below. Additionally, check out heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, and more, go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Whew. All right, got my coffee. 12 out of 24. We need this, for whatever reason, they need to wait for 24 people. We let this fill up and we hop into the draft. All right, here we go, folks. Here we go. What do we open here in the draft of all drafts? Well, an extremely disappointing pack. An extremely disappointing pack. Soul Flare is not particularly strong. You just miss a lot of the time. So I think on average, this is just going to be worse than Gurmag Angler, for example. But there's not even a card I am excited the first pick. No good red card, no good white card. There is an Honored Hydra, a Sphinx of Magosi as options here for first pick, I guess. And then there is the Soul Flare. I guess I'll take an Honored Hydra. Maybe it's the Sphinx. I don't mind blue, but I haven't had a ton of success with blue controlling decks. All right, I'll just take the Sphinx, I guess. If I do end up with some kind of heavy blue devotion deck of some kind, I could see the Sphinx being an okay top-end card. And it can also be a good sideboard card against the various controlling decks in the format. Moving on to pack number 2, we have Seed Guardian, Abhorrent Overlord, Guild Summit. I don't think I want to go into gates this early. If I get a late Gatebreaker Ram or Gates Ablaze, that would be what makes me change my tune on that. I do like Cloudfin Raptor, and I do want to be aggressive in this format for the most part. So there is a Sin Collector here, but I just think I'd rather start the draft with the Cloudfin Raptor and give me outs to being, for example, the blue-red tempo deck is very strong. So that's something that you can do with the Cloudfin Raptor, along with, I guess, blue-white flyers, but I like that a little bit less. But I think the upside's there for the Cloudfin Raptor, so I will take that out of this pack. Still trying to figure out where to be, of course, and still very, very early. Moving on to pack number 3. All right, this is giving us a little bit of direction. And this pick, by the way, is going to largely dictate where we go. So because we have Cloudfin Raptor, Philology Archaeologist, and Dinrova Horror. They're all decent cards, but they all go in different decks, right? Philology Archaeologist and Dinrova Horror are both controlling cards, whereas Cloudfin Raptor is an aggressive tempo card. Third pick Dinrova Horror. You know what? Given that I already have the one Cloudfin Raptor, I'm going to take another Cloudfin Raptor here and try to settle into something that's a little more aggressive here with the Raptors and try to draft around that. Because recently I've been trying to draft more control decks and I haven't been having as much success. So I want to switch things up, and especially given that I already had the Cloudfin Raptor. If I had a Philology Archaeologist there, I would consider taking the Dinrova Horror. But now I'm going to take the Cloudfin Raptor. So now this is a really, really interesting pick. The best card in this pack is a 10th District Legionnaire, which is a card that goes into arguably the best archetype in the format, which is Boros Aggro. Now that is a far departure from what we have, and it would be a full pivot into Boros. But I can also take Ardenvale Tactician, which would be fine to pair with what I have. Like, it looks like a lot of the good red cards are missing. I haven't seen a good red card yet. So it is possible somebody else is taking all the aggressive red cards, which is not surprising. So I can take the Ardenvale Tactician, which is still a really good card in Boros Aggro, but goes better with the fact that we have the 2 Cloudfin Raptors. I don't really want to take Devour Flesh this early, so why don't we take the Tactician? Blue-green is also just a really weak color combination, so let's take the Ardenvale Tactician here and then see where we can take this, right? Let's see where we can take this. Moving on to pick number 5, and I'm already seeing the fact, I'm already seeing that the packs look much weaker than my typical draft deck because the quality of the drafters is much, much higher. Moving on to pack number 5, we have Basilica Screecher and Makindi Slide Runner as cards that stand out to me, as cards that I want to play. I think blue-red is a stronger color combination, and I haven't had that much experience with blue-black aggressive tempo decks. So I think I'm leaning towards the Makindi Slide Runner here. And also, if somehow we pivot into red-white, this is a better than maybe going into black-white for the Screecher here. So I'll take the Slide Runner. I think it's somewhat close between those 2 picks. All right, now we have pack number 6. And yeah, this isn't looking great. This is not looking great. We have Boulder Salvo, like, we're not seeing a ton of the aggressive red cards. I do see an Undead Butler here and a Philagi Archaeologist. I will take the Philagi Archaeologist just because it's blue. It's still fine with the Cloudfin Raptors, and then noting that Undead Butler is also just a strong card. And so maybe black could be a color that we should look to pivot into, but let's take the Archaeologist here for now. Like I said, not the cleanest draft so far. Not the cleanest draft so far in the slightest. Pick number 7, I don't really like Skylasher. I don't really want to pair blue with green. I just don't think like a blue-green tempo deck is something that I'm super comfortable drafting. The white cards don't seem very strong. There's a Pilgrim's Eye, there's a Dragon Mantle, and a Boundary Lands Ranger. And it's not super clear that red is even that open right now. So I guess I could just take Pilgrim's Eye and just try to make it work that way. And that just because Pilgrim's Eye, when drafts go bad, Pilgrim's Eye is the type of card that'll be fine in basically any deck that you play. So why don't we take that here just to try to get a better sense for where we need to be, right? If I was for sure blue-red, I would have taken the Dragon's Eye. Okay, this is really interesting. Pick 8, Frostburn Weird is excellent. Kabira Takedown is also excellent. I think those are both cards worth taking over the Ingenious Scob. We've already taken some blue-red cards. I'm going to take Frostburn Weird. I do think this is the perfect card to pair with the Cloudfin Raptors if I still wanted to try to go blue-red tempo. We are pretty heavy in blue right now. So why don't we take that over the Kabira Takedown? All right, moving into pick number 9. This is the pack that was kind of weak to begin with. I guess I'll take a Talcrop Skirmisher, although this pack is just still pretty weak in general. Really don't want to play the Talcrop Skirmisher if I don't have to. All right, moving on to pick number 10. Sin Collector tabled. Didn't see a whole lot of white or black cards. We saw the Undead Butler and a Basilica Screecher, but yeah, we're not seeing any of the Dreadbores, anything like that. I could take the Consider. Blue-red has some Spells Matters type cards, so I can certainly take that just to continue taking blue cards for my deck. No removal, though. I guess I could have taken the Boulder Salvo over the Pilgrim's Eye. There's Counterflux. This is just a counterspell. I'd much rather have Dragon Mantle here. Dragon Mantle tabling is certainly decent. It will take a Boundary Lands Ranger here over Mizium Skin, although I don't think it's particularly strong here. The Basilica Screecher notably tabled. Spirit of the Labyrinth isn't particularly playable, but neither is the Dragon-style Twins either. And there is the Mizium Skin. So this was a really, really rough pack, I'm going to say. No spells. No spells at all out of that pack for us. So not super happy with how this is going, but we got to make the most of what we have here, right? So let's give this a whirl. Didn't see a bunch of the gate stuff outside of the Guild Summit as well. All right, what do we have? All I know is I have blue cards, and I want to be blue-red if possible. We're taking a Scytheclaw Raptor here over Scattered to the Winds. I want to be proactive. This is an awesome big body to play, so why don't we take that? And we got past Dictate of Heliod. Oof. I mean, did white seem open? White just didn't seem super open. I think I just want to be blue-red here. So I don't think... Dictate of Heliod is so much better than my red cards, though. Can I just take it here? I mean, what are... Like, do I just fight people for the white? Is that what I do? I mean, if I get this, I'm going to get a bunch of good white. And this is one of the best rares in the whole set. And this could really... basically allow me to win a bunch of games. The other option here for me would be Rimrock Knight, which is a really, really good red card. But this is so much... I'm going to take the Dictate, and this is a pick that I can very, very easily see myself regretting. Rimrock Knight is good, definitely good, but my red is not absurd by any means, and we do have the Ardenvale Tactician still here, so I think I want to make this work. Here, there's Hero of Erois, which I think is worse than blue-white, and there's Gust of Wind. I already have double Cloudfin Raptor and Pilgrim's Eye, and possibly this Ardenvale Tactician, so I do think I'm actually going to take Gust of Wind as my first interactive spell over the Hero of Erois. Yeah, and I don't think I want to be red-white, so... Let's take the Gust of Wind here. And see what we get. Alright, moving on to this pack, we have... McKindy Slide Runner versus Falagi Archaeologist. And I guess I take the Archaeologist here. Just because it goes in both decks. Also, it's just a better card in general. Obviously, it's not the most aggressive card, but still you can take it here, I think. Now we have this pack, which has Phalanx Leader, which is really hard to cast. Imposing Sovereign and Essence Scatter. I'm going to actually take the Imposing Sovereign here. It's just far, far easier to cast. Phalanx Leader, I mean, if I'm trying to play Cloudfin Raptors on turn 1, my mana is just not going to work with Phalanx Leader. And Blue-White is going to have a lot less ways to target your own things. And still a really good card if I'm looking to tempo out in Blue-White. Alright, moving into pick number 6. We have Sejiri Shelter, Nimbus Naiad, and Azorius Guildgate. As much as I want to take the Azorius Guildgate for mana fixing, I think I just need playables here. So it's either going to be the Shelter or the Nimbus Naiad, I think. And I'm just going to take... I just need to take creatures here, I think. So I'm going to take the Naiad here just to curve out. There's a Rimrock Knight, notably, in this pack. Which is good, but we're just going to keep taking the blue and white cards here. This pack has a Hero of Erois and a Zephyr Winder. And in blue-white... I am far more interested in the Zephyr Winder here. Again, not taking Knight of the White Orchid. It's double white. There's a Dreadbore here. There's an Ornrio Perforos. Noting that we're actually still not seeing a bunch of red in this pack, so that's also just an indication. People love the red. That was my theory kind of going into this. Like, red is deep, but people really do love the red. I'm going to take the Zephyr Winder here. Fly, fly, fly. Ooh, Zephyr Winder versus Gust of Wind. They're both really good. I actually think Gust of Wind is just absurd, and I just need more interaction, and I have a bunch of flyers. This is actually one of the payoffs for being the flyer deck. So I will take the Gust of Wind here because my creature count's already very high relative to my spells, although I just need more of everything, to be honest. Here we have Knight of the White Orchid, Scattered to the Winds, and Nimbus Naiad. I think I'm just going to take Nimbus Naiad. I mean, I don't love it. I really don't, but it's just another flyer to play. Here we have Illusory Angel. Can I turn that on? I mean, it's another large flyer if I can get it to work. So I do think I'm going to take that here. Rapid Hybridization, Artful Maneuver. I'm going to take Keening Apparition because this could be a good sideboard card and possibly something that I can main deck. Don't really want the Trailblazer, I don't think. Or the... I guess the Scob is more likely for me to... is something for me to play. I don't think I'm playing either of these cards. Okay. I mean, that was a fine pack. We're still going to need, of course, a lot more help. And like I said, because this deck is so proactive, I didn't take Scatter to the win there. I just don't want to be leaving up counter spells in this type of deck that much. I'd rather just constantly be playing flyers and removal spells to get things out of the way. Stasis Snare is an excellent pickup for our deck, so very, very happy about that. Our first hard removal spell in our color configuration here. Second Gatebreaker Ram, notably something that we opened. With some of our mana requirements now, I think I should probably keep an eye out for an Azorius Guildgate if I can see one. Here, I'm going to take another Cloudfin Raptor. I think this is just exactly what you want in these decks. Another Den River Horror, Silk Wrap, and Illusory Angel. But also having more one-mana plays makes it so that the Illusory Angel becomes a little bit better as well. This is kind of a 4-mana card. All right, Thunderclap Wyvern, pick 3. This is perfect for all the flyers that we have. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and even 9 here for the Illusory Angel. So we're going to slam the Thunderclap Wyvern. What is Kozilek's Return? I didn't even know this was in the set. When you cast an Eldrazi, deal 5 to everything. Whew, hope we don't die to that. All right. Thunderclap Wyvern is an excellent, excellent pickup here for us. And now we have this pack, which has, not seeing anything in red. I'll take another Consider, I guess. It's a fine card. I do need some spells here for the Archaeologist. And we'll just go about our way there. All right. I got to bring some of these other cards back, probably. I probably have to play some number of these cards. Tomebound Lich. It feels like Dimir Control was where we might have needed to be. But that is not an option here for us. Certainly not seeing anything in white right now. But we got that Dictate of Heliod. There's an Archaeomancer, which I can take. Yeah, I think I like that more than Rapid Hybridization. Bouncing Gust of Wind seems pretty strong. It's just a creature that you can play that chumps with something on the ground and then gives you something to get back. Although right now we don't have a ton of spells, but hoping that with the Archaeologist and picking up another spell or two late, we can get paid off. All right. Oh my gosh. Boros Reckoner? I guess people are not in Boros? I mean, it's far too late, obviously. So, I mean, there's no world I already have 2 apparitions. I don't think I'll ever want 3, is the thing. Okay, I really didn't know what to take there. All right, well, there's a Stormchaser Mage, which is really unfortunate, but we did get a Liev Sky Knight as well, so really happy about that. Pick 7, so extremely happy about that, especially with this Thunderclap Wyvern. And this was pick number 8. That is a late Rimrock Knight as well. Well, certainly, obviously that's not something that we're going to be doing. I don't think I want a 3rd Nimbus Naiad, and we still need playables, and I need some interaction, so I'm actually going to take the Swift Reckoning here. We kill everything in the skies, but if people try to race us on the ground, we can play the Swift Reckoning here to, it's one of our few removal spells. This pack, another Stormchaser Mage in this pack. Blue-red could have also been fine, but like I said, we kind of made this decision, noting that we will definitely lose some percentage points here if we don't get any white cards. We got some of the blue-white cards, which helped, but my thought process here, my reasoning here is Dictate of Heliod is just that good. That is basically my thought process. Wingsteed Rider is not particularly good here. Not that many ways to pump it. So I'm going to just take the chance here and take the Illusory Angel and hope that one ends up working out for me. Lotus Eye Mystics. If my opponent has a lot of disenchant effects, I can board this in. Another Sin Collector here. Yeah, I mean, this was not the cleanest draft. I think we could have maybe been blue-black control or perhaps blue-red tempo, and those would have both been pretty good. But hey, I mean, we have one of the best aggressively slanted rares in the entire set, okay? So let's hope that this Dictate of Heliod, with all the creatures that we have, is good enough to get us into the second draft. That is the hope. That is the hope. Oh, there's also a Sphinx of Magosi. I just forgot about that card. All right, let us build this deck here. It's not really a Mizium Skin deck. I like all of these spells here that I have. I don't really want Keening Apparitions or the Talcrop Skirmishers. This is probably a 16-lander with double Consider. And I have a Pilgrim's Eye. And if I want to go that low on lands, I probably should just not play Sphinx of Magosi. But are there other creatures like Top Crop Skirmisher? Certainly not that great. And this is higher up on the curve. Ingenious Scob is not ideal. I like all these other cards. I like all these other cards. Archaeomancer with what, 5 spells is a little bit dicey. So it's like Archaeomancer versus Sphinx of Magosi, I think. Archaeomancer does give us a higher chance of being able to utilize the Illusory Angels. 3, 4, 5, 6. Also, the Archaeomancer is not as good here. Or, excuse me, the Archaeologist with only 7 spells. I'm still going to play it, but is there a spell in my sideboard that I should consider playing just to make sure I have a higher chance of hitting? I mean, getting back Amizium Skin is pretty weak anyways, right? I wonder if I should cut both of these and just keep my curve kind of lower. I kind of want another 2-drop with triple Cloudfin Raptor. So I wonder if it should just be like, just because I don't have anything to get back with this, having another 2-drop also increases the chances that I can Illusory Angel people out. Like, my deck's certainly not just looking to go to the late game anyways. So why don't we just play something, just another creature here. All right, I'm just going to main deck 1 Keening Apparition and just call it a day. And now the question is, do I want to play... Yeah, I mean, I think 9/7 is probably fine. Frostburn Weird is the only somewhat awkward card in this deck, but it is really nice because it has 4 toughness, so it triggers this pretty well. But we also have double white spells in our deck, namely the Dictative Heliad, which we really want to cast. And so we only really need the 1 blue in a lot of instances. So I think 9/7 is fine. All right, here we go. Round 1. All right, now before round 1 starts, I just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Special shout out to all the patrons. Thank you so much for all your support. Truly means a lot and allows me to continue making all of this content here. All right, we don't have a Cloudfin Raptor turn 1, but I have a 2-drop, a 3-drop on the draw. I have Philagi Archaeologist. Oh, we did draw Cloudfin Raptor. That's exactly the type of thing that I need to win. All right, blue-black is what my opponent's playing with Undead Butler on turn 2. And they hit a... Oh, Stab Wound? Oh, no, sorry, this is an Archaeologist. They hit a Priest of the Bloodright, which is quite good. I will play the Archaeologist here. Trigger the Cloudfin Raptor. We hit a Gust of Wind, yes! That is huge. Looks like they're going to want to kill my Cloudfin Raptor, potentially. Right, no play from them. What do I want to do? I can play Nimbus Naiad, but I feel like if you can have the option of bestowing it, you'd rather do that anyways. So I'm just going to attack with Cloudfin Raptor here. And then just play a Pilgrim's Eye. Because this doesn't trigger the Cloudfin Raptor. Essence Scatter? Okay, whatever. I mean, obviously I really wanted the white source, but... Looks like they have some kind of Delve card here. Might be a Treasure Cruise. Although if they play the Treasure Cruise, the Undead Butler gets a lot worse. Really would like a white source. But if not, then my plan is just to play the Nimbus Naiad to grow the Cloudfin Raptor. Gurmag Angler would not matter. So that's fine, if that's what they do. Okay. So I certainly want to bounce this, if I can. So yeah, let's just bounce the Gurmag Angler. Want to find more lands. Perfect. And then now I can go Philagi Archaeologist or Cloudfin Raptor. And probably better to just set up with the Cloudfin Raptor here. And attack with my Flyer. Now if I can find a land here, that would be great. Because then I can play 2 creatures. Possess Scob here on Priest of the Bloodright. Okay. So that's going to make things really, really difficult for us. Because they can play that, and then all of a sudden they'll have a 5/5 flyer in play. So now the question is, do I go Nimbus Naiad or Philagi Archaeologist? Nimbus Naiad gives us an extra flyer. But I don't have a Gust of Wind available right now. I'm going to Archaeologist. Let's see if we can find a Consider, maybe. Oh, we missed entirely. Okay, that's bad. Yeah, I mean, not... Look, I will say this. I'm happy about my 9/7 split, right? I'm happy about the 9-7 split. A Plains off the top would be great. They have to play the Priest here, or they're just going to die to my Flyers. Okay, now what? I can bestow with the Nimbus Naya to actually block the demon if necessary. I think I want to do that, actually. Let's bestow the Archaeologist here. And now it's a 3-6 flyer. And now we can play the game of just trying to make this game go a little bit longer. They can potentially just die to their own Priest of the Bloodright. And then now it sets us up, if we do draw the white source here, to play the Liev Sky Knight. I like how we milled 2 planes. But if we can find 1 planes here, then we can kind of lock down the demon here. That's why we took that second Gust of Wind, right? We took it over a Zephyr Winder. Gust of Wind is probably one of, if not the best common, that probably with the Cloudfin Raptor in this type of deck. All right, drawing another white card. Oof, this is brutal. Not much we can do. We just wait. We just wait. But just got to play to our outs, play to our ability to try to win these games. Devour Flesh targeting us. We will certainly sack the Archaeologist here, the 0-3. Gonna board out the Keening Apparition in this matchup. And this is a blue-black deck, so probably gonna board in the Sphinx of Magosi and probably also the Archaeomancer, just because this tends to be a grindier matchup. And the thing is, they can't really attack me. Right? Because I put the Nimbus Naiad on the Archaeologist, they can't attack me too well unless they kill the Archaeologist. But if they do, I can hit them back with my Flyers, so it's not even that bad. It's not like I'm losing much by blocking with the Archaeologist. I just created the largest flying wall, and if they don't have any answer... That's the thing, in blue-black, like, you need a way to, like, sack the Priest of the Bloodright or something. And here's one really interesting thing. They didn't play the Gurmag Angler, and they have 3 cards in hand. So that's something that I need to note. They could have a counterspell here. It feels like it could be a counterspell. So I'm almost wondering if I should hold off on the Liev Sky Knight and see if I can maybe bait a counter with the Keening Apparition. Because when they have this kind of mana, I mean, it's either that, like, if they had a removal spell, they could still just cast that and the Gurmag Angler, right? If it's like Devour Flesh or something like that. So yeah, I'm going to play it slow. I'm going to play the Keening Apparition. It feels like a Scatter to the Wind or something like that. And if that's the case... Oh, it's a Silumgar Sorcerer. Perfect. Well, they do get to sack the Priest of the Bloodright. So they were ready to fire that off on anything. So now this makes sense. But I will say, I'm really happy with our decision to hold off on playing the Sky Knight there because of the information that we had. We didn't run our Sky Knight into what felt like an open counterspell. But now this is, of course, a far more interesting game. They even have a flying blocker as well. But I can play this Liev Sky Knight and detain the 5-5 here and get in for a really chunky attack. And they don't have good blocks on any of my Flyers, right? And I mean, if I can draw a second Plains here, which is not super likely. I have what? Well, I do have 5 planes still left in my deck. So it's still a thing. But now they're down to 2 cards in the Gurmag Angler. They're probably just going to run out the Gurmag Angler here. And if that's the case, we get to attack for a lot. And they still don't have a good attack because I have this Archaeologist with Nimbus Naiad on it. And we did draw the planes. Oh my gosh. I mean, I think the play is still to detain the 5-5, right? I hit them for 7. If the last card is Essence Scatter, I'll be very sad. But we get double triggers off both Cloudfin Raptors. Oh, Devour Flesh. That's really, really interesting. Can I still attack with this one, right? I can, right? I think I can. Oh, but they can block. Yeah, you know, I should have blocked this. No, that was a mistake. Wow. Yeah, that was a big mistake. Well, let's see what they have. I should have sacked the Sky Knight. Oh my gosh. That could end up costing me. Basilica Screecher. Okay. Alright, we're good. I don't want to show Dictate of Heliod. If I kill the demon, they block here and they still die. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. I almost threw that away. Okay. Okay. Playing against a Dimir control deck with multiple Devour Fleshes and Silumgar Sorcerer. Keening Apparition is going to be quite bad in this matchup. Sphinx of Magosi, I think, is pretty decent if I can get it to stick. There's also the Archaeomancer, which gives me some value when I play it, but then I would have to cut something else if I wanted to play that. There's also Top Crop Skirmisher, which is pretty decent against some of the stuff they might be doing. Could cut maybe Imposing Sovereign. Actually, the Archaeomancer is still probably not great. And Swift, like, they don't attack me very often, so maybe I don't want the Swift Reckoning, but... And maybe instead I want, like, a Mizium skin, right? Because they're going to have more spot removal spells. So this could be interesting. I still want to have some number of spells here, just because I have the Archaeologists. But then I do need to cut one more card here. I mean, we didn't... Maybe we just play it like this. Sure. Okay. We have a turn 1 Cloudfin Raptor and no 2-drop, but we have a 3 and a 4. Wow. That is... Okay. I didn't think their deck was a Cloudfin Raptor deck. I guess they had a decent number of creatures. Don't Essence Scatter me. Okay, that's good. Zathrid Necromancer. Sure. All right. Let's go Nimbus Naiad. And now the question is, am I interested in attacking? No, I'm just going to attack with the Cloudfin Raptor. Because if they play another creature here, I can just Gust of Wind it. I also have Thunderclap Wyvern. I just hope that they don't have a counterspell here. Right, for the Wyvern. That's the only thing that I'm hoping. Okay. Let's go with Gust of Wind here. And then attack. They might have a Silumgar Sorcerer, which is fine. Is this a human? Oh my gosh, it actually is. That's funny. Wow, that's actually really good with the Zathrid Necromancer. Let's bounce that too. Okay, Cloudfin Raptor is the play into Ingenious Scob. Oh, you know the only downside here is the Thunderclap Wyvern doesn't work with the Cloudfin Raptor. Or not the way that you would want it to, at least. I don't think. Yeah. I mean, you still get it for a bunch of damage, so it's fine. Alright, our opponent's at 7, and we have a bunch of flyers. Dinrova Horror is the play from the opponent. Bouncing Cloudfin Raptor, I think I'm just going to pitch it now. They don't have good attacks. Let's attack with Nimbus Naiad. Let's play Sphinx. And let's hope the Sphinx is good enough here. Oh my gosh, it is. Let's go. Okay. Victory number 1 in the books. Okay. Happy with that. Happy with that. Okay, 2 more to go to at least make it into the second draft. All right, 1-0 with our blue-white Flyers deck. Noting that I did make one swap. I'm main decking the Sphinx over the Keening Apparition. That's what I chose to do. All right, yeah, keeping this hand. This Angel is not going to be perfect, but hopefully we can set up a situation where it can be. Turn 1 Lagana Band Trailblazer is the play from the opponent. Phalanx Leader. That's terrifying. That is terrifying. Alright, Imposing Sovereign for us. Let's attack. Yep. Playing against Boros. Playing against Boros, doing Boros things. Illusory Angel does sometimes look super awkward here. Fall of the Hammer. Oh, that's not great. Okay. They didn't want to attack with the Trailblazer? That's really interesting. I guess they didn't want to trade 1 for 2 damage. What, like a Cloudfin Raptor here would be phenomenal. Ordeal of Perforos. Okay. Alright, we're getting destroyed here. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like Cloudfin Raptor or bust right now. Gust of Wind would also be okay at... Okay, well, 2 lands in a row is not ideal. Like, our hand was Cloudfin Raptor Imposing Sovereign plus the Dictate, but we needed to find some other play to have. And, you know, that's the thing. This is the downside of playing something like an Illusory Angel, where, I mean, you have hands like this, right? Where you just can't do anything with it. Yeah, this is an awesome heroic deck from the opponent's side. And we are basically dead here. We're at 2 life, so now we just... Yeah, this is over. Fair enough. Good strong deck from the opponent's side here. And we're going to need to probably make some adjustments. Although, we don't have a ton of options in the sideboard, but this is definitely a matchup where the Sphinx is probably a little bit too slow. And I want just something a little bit cheaper to keep up with what they have. I think Apparition can be pretty nice. They can probably... They can play Stasis Snare. They can play Compulsory Rest, effects like that. In fact, I might want both of the Keening Apparitions here in this deck. There's Mizium Skin. I wonder, Imposing Sovereign on the play? All right, let's just go with 1 Apparition just because we don't exactly know. Or I can just cut the Frostburn Weirds. But this blocks pretty well with most of what they have. And I'm keeping all the 1-drops like the Considers and stuff because of my Illusory Angels. I just think having a bunch of good ones that you can play helps out a lot. On the play here, we are certainly going to keep this. We have a 2-drop, 3-drop Dictate of Heliod. And this Consider, which I will fire off. There's some consideration to holding it because I have double Illusory Angel, but against this type of matchup, I just feel like I need to try to sculpt my hand as well as I can. And yeah, I will take Imposing Sovereign here. This allows us to have a pretty aggressive start. Their stuff comes into play tapped. Let's attack. Let's put this Bounderlands Ranger in detention. All the mountains. Oh man, this Sovereign doing some work. This Sovereign is certainly doing some work. Let's cast Consider. If we find an Angel here, that'd be awesome. Cloudfin Raptor. I'm actually going to keep this because I just want to... This lets me play another creature with my Dictate of Heliod. Right? I mean, this is just like the perfect curve. Right? This is so hard. This start is so hard to beat. Like creature, Dictate. I like that. Rimrock Knight main phase. Oh, to rummage with Bounderlands Ranger, sure. Alright, Chain to the Rocks. Alright, definitely boarding in the second Keening Apparition. Ghostblade. Oh, man. This is the best Imposing Sovereign ever. Yeah. Yep. And that's why you take Dictate of Heliod, right? That right there is why you take it. This is just the ultimate finisher. Let's play the Apparition here. That Imposing Sovereign was so solid. Just slowed them down a lot. And yeah, really happy with that one. What do I want to board out? It could just be a Nimbus Naiad. It's kind of slow. It's just a 3-mana 2/2 flyer. There's also Pilgrim's Eye. Yeah, let's see. We have a lot of 18 creatures. I kind of want to just keep all the 2-drops for the most part. I don't really like the Skirmisher though, because they can have Acheron Crusader and just make a bunch of 1/1 tokens. But 2/2 bodies are certainly fine. And so, yeah, I think Nimbus Naiad's probably the weakest of my options here. I like the Pilgrim's Eye. Getting the land, making sure we hit our land drops because it's important to hit our land drops and have a bunch of lands in play to be able to go card into the Illusory Angel. I mean, I can't mulligan this hand, but it's 4 lands. I need to basically not draw lands, but it's 4 lands, Cloudfin Raptor, Zephyr Winder, and Gust of Wind. My opponent snap kept their hand though, so if they go turn 1 Swift Spear, I'm going to be very sad. We drew Pilgrim's Eye here. That could have been the Nimbus Naiad, I guess. Oh, Imposing Sovereign. I mean... No, I'm just going to play Zephyr Winder. The thing is, they're unlikely to play a flying creature here. Okay, well... They played a flying creature here. I think I'm okay with the trade. Because I have Gust of Wind, I think I'm okay with this trade. And Ordeal of Perforos doesn't actually work, right? Chain to the Rocks, that's a good one. Bye-bye. Sovereign, maybe? No, Cloudfin Raptor. Yeah, that makes sense. Ordeal, okay. Hey, you know what? That's a 2-for-1. Not a 2-for-1. That we get value this way. Swift Reckoning, not doing much here, but let's go ahead and bounce the Wingsteed Rider. Hopefully we can find a play here. We did. We found Cloudfin Raptor. I'll take it. I'm going to untap that in case they have Swift Reckoning, I suppose. Fiendslayer Paladin. Oof. Okay. Oh, it comes into play tapped! Oh, Imposing Sovereign, you're the best! Alright. Swift Reckoning on Fiendslayer Paladin into Illusory Angel. Oh my gosh. Yes! Yes! Oh man, that deck looked really nice too. That deck looked really solid. We are 2-0. 2-0. Okay, just one more win and we make it into the second draft. Alright. Still just need to get those good, consistent draws with Cloudfin Raptors and enough ways to tempo out our opponent. Gust of Wind, such a good Magic card. Okay, I'm going to keep this. No Cloudfin Raptor, but we have Consider, Archaeologist, Frostburn Weird. Hopefully we can find an another blue source so I can play the Frostburn Weird on turn 2. Not a huge deal, just because we can play the Archaeologist as well. Alright, turn 1 Selesnya Guildgate is the play for our opponent. Do I bottom this? I think so. I don't want the second plains, that's the problem. I want islands. If it was an island, I would have kept it. We'll go Keening Apparition, because it's got power and toughness. Cartel Aristocrat, okay. Let's attack. Wow. Okay, so they're playing some kind of Gates control deck then, given that they traded my Keening Apparition, which is interesting. Alright, Archaeologist. You know what? That's fine. I didn't want those creatures anyways. Yeah, I mean, that is the awkward thing about the Frostborn Weird, because we're on a 9-island deck. Oh my gosh, we got destroyed. Boon Satyr? Oh, that's gross. I gotta bounce it again. Okay. good to know. Drag Mangler is the play from the opponent. All right. Well, this is rough. Just, I don't have that many creatures. See what they do. I just got to run this out. Mentor of the Meek. If they kill the Frostborn Weird, I'm just completely out of action. Do I play that? Or do I bestow? Playing it gives me more power and toughness. So I think I play it. Like, the alternative was to play a land, bestow this 5, hit them for 7. I guess that hits them way harder and it puts, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Okay. This also just allows me to block better, which I like, right? Like, I can, certainly I can't block the Boon Satyr, but I can block the Mentor of the Meek. Also, what is their deck? Their deck is all over the place. I guess they're just straight Abzan. Oh, did they have a removal spell here? That would be bad. Okay. Alright, we got Imposing Sovereign coming down. I should have kept up all my blue, I guess. 3 cards in hand for the opponent. Yeah, I mean, it turns out maybe I would have won if I just bestowed upon the Frostburn Weird and tried to race them. So I gotta slow down a little bit here. I mean, I think that was a close call and something that I was considering, but I should have probably just done the math, right? Because if I just get it, is that just a 2-turn clock? 3, 4, 5, 2. I pumped twice, right? So I would have done 2 more damage. They would have been at 5 plus 4, 9. And then 5. No, I wouldn't have lethal. I wouldn't have had lethal. Nimbus Naiad off the top would be insane. Also, I have to block this Boon Satyr. Selesnya Charm? Okay. I'm still not dead. Okay, Nimbus Naiad off the top. Nimbus Naiad off the top. Nope. Oh, man. Oh, this is brutal. Yeah, we can't attack. So I think I would have lost with the Selesnya Charm. I think they would have outraced me and killed me if I bestowed upon the Frostburn Weird. I think I was a little bit short. Because they took 4 damage from that previous turn, which is a wash. And then I didn't have it. Did I have enough islands? I don't know. Alright, they got me. Alright, Paul. Get back into it. Get back into it. I'm going to bring in the second copy of Keening Apparition here. Boon Satyr blew me out too. That was unfortunate. I don't think I want Sphinx of Magosi, particularly if they have Selesnya Charm. So I don't want to be relying on that. The Imposing Sovereign still seems good. I do have ground creatures that I want to attack with. It's just, what is my last cut, right? That's always the question. They seem to have had some trouble dealing with flyers. So I do feel like I like the Nimbus Naiad in this matchup, right? Just because I can bestow and attack. Which arguably I should have done in that previous turn. Alright, let's cut the Frostburn Weird. Just because we're trading a 2-drop for a 2-drop. But this one I can play on a more consistent basis, and because they have more enchantments, we can run it like that, especially with 9 islands. Frostburn Wizard, obviously when we took the Frostburn Wizard, we were thinking we were going to be a blue-red deck. Okay. Ooh, that was a big turn. I don't know. Okay, but let's focus. 5 lands, Imposing Sovereign, Stasis Snare is simply not going to get it done. We are going to mulligan that. And this hand is not great either. Our first play is the turn 3 Nimbus Naiad. I can't go to 5 though, so I just have to keep this and hope I draw a 2-drop or something cheap to play with the Illusory Angel. So this is a pretty mediocre hand. 2 islands and a plains with a Stasis Snare, Illusory Angel, and a Nimbus Naiad. At least we're on the play, so we won't necessarily fall behind on board. And then, of course, we need to be mindful of opposing Boon Satyrs. Another Illusory Angel, okay. Cartel Aristocrat is the play from the opponent. And, oh, okay. I guess I'm just playing a Nimbus Naiad here. I mean, our deck certainly probably overperformed being 2-0. Our opponent definitely has good mana, and it's just it feels bad losing like this. I will say. I'm gonna block the Aristocrat. Alright. Keening Apparition. Can't run out the Stasis Snare. Yeah, this is just all kinds of tough here. We'll try our best. Need a plains here? Courier's Briefcase. I guess that's just to make a 1-1. I can't even Gust of Wind. I mean, so much of this deck relies on turn 1 Cloudfin Raptor, right? But I just felt like I couldn't go to 4 with 3 lands and spells. You know what I mean? Let's tap these 2 creatures with the Tactician. Because that is our only play. Plains. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is big. This is big. I'm going to consider... Well, first I'm going to attack, I think. I can consider and try to hit a land. They must have a removal spell. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Let's hit a land. Come on, consider. Land on top. I will keep it even though it's an island, because I get to play an Illusory Angel. And this is big, because next turn... Oh, they have Devour Flesh? I can go Gust of Wind plus Illusory Angel again. Potentially. Yeah, figured they had Devour Flesh. Well, we're starting all over. Starting all over. If we draw plains, we can play the Tactician. Not ideal. I think I just need to cast Gust of Wind here. I'll just bounce the token. And we drew an island. Okay. So now if we draw plains, I can still go Tactician plus Illusory Angel. We've dug pretty deep, and it's not like we're playing 0 plains. We have 7 plains in our deck. Obviously, it's not the easiest. Ooh, Sidisi. Yeah, I will say, I mean, they have a nice little... It's not like their card quality is super low. You know, they just have Abzan Valley with good mana fixing and some good top-end cards. And this probably will be game over, because I just wasn't able to put enough pressure on my opponent here. Okay. Consider. There is the plains. But now I need to kill the Sidisi, don't I? I'm going to do it now. Just because they had Sajiri Shelter. Or they can have Sajiri Shelter. Although I guess now if they go Knightly Valor, it's pretty bad for me. I mean, they tutored for something. They tutored for Pelukrinos. Yep. Alright. Good beats. Yeah, I mean, this is just a straight up loss. Like, this type of matchup, We just need to be aggressive, and that's why I take the Cloudfin Raptors. That gives us the best chance at success. If they make the Polukranos into a 7/7, then I think I just lose everything, right? They deal 2 damage to my Angel. It won't kill the Dragmangler, though. 6/6. That deals 1 damage to it. Oh, it just does the 1 damage. Never mind. This is alive? What happened? Okay, that probably... I mean, it doesn't matter because we're still just dead, but that was a little bit odd, I will say. I don't know what combination of cards gets me out of this. Alright, we're at 2. Okay, hey, that's a blocker. They didn't use the Dragmangler. Okay, that's a Gust of Wind. Okay, that's a Pilgrim's Eye. I mean, never give up, never surrender? We have chump blockers. That was like the best. I mean, the thing is, we're still huge dogs, but that was like the best combination of cards I could have found. That's ridiculous. Yeah, okay. The dream is dead. The dream is dead. Can we run it back? Can we do it again? Oh, it's a Selesnya charm? Okay. They were just being cautious. I think they had that the whole time. Alright, good game. Okay, big match here. Big match here to see if we can make it into day 2. Alright. Good draws, good draws. Alright, here we go. Last round. On the play. 5 lands, Phalange Archaeologist, and Thunderclap Wyvern. Mulligan. 2 planes, double Cloudfin Raptor. Mulligan. How do we win this game? Turn 2 Zephyr Winder. I'm just bottoming both of the Angels. I mean, I don't even love playing the Angel. It just, you know, we were short playables, and it was, you know, it's like it was our only option really. With a Mulligan to 5, I just think it's going to be hard to get enough mana in play to be able to go Angel. So I'd rather just have the removal and hope to draw a creature. Mentor of the Meek. Imposing Sovereign plus Swift Reckoning is a pretty nice combo, I will say. Okay, Ardenvale Tactician comes into play tapped. Sure. Yeah, they're just up so many resources right now. I could have Stasis Snared Mentor of the Meek, but I thought it was pretty important to have a way to get a flyer out of the way so that I can continue attacking with the Zephyr Winder. Okay. Swift Reckoning, Cloudfin Raptor. Alright, I mean, we got a couple of flyers. They have 7 cards in hand, and we have a Stasis Snare. So now it's just, how many flyers can we play? Right? Oh, hey, you know, this is why I saved the Stasis Snare, right? But this is all we got. Yeah. Anything else that they play from here, and they're gonna get us. Gnarlback Rhino, sure. Keening Apparition, okay. Hey, it's a creature. It's a creature with power and toughness. It pumps up my Cloudfin Raptor. But Gnarlback Rhino, obviously very, very strong in green-white. Looks like they have some kind of trick, maybe, that costs 2 mana. But I don't know what it could be. What do I even want here? I guess like a Nimbus Naiad off the top on Keening Apparition would be okay. Gust of Wind, obviously, on Gnarlback Rhino would also be pretty good. Savage Punch here on Zephyr Winder or something, and that's probably game over. Call me a similar thing. Call the Ambush. Yep. Do I block the Gnarlback Rhino here? You know, I mean, I think this is a deck that's definitely beatable from what we have. It's just we need the right hand, right? That's all. Liev Sky Knight would be huge. Gust of Wind is huge. Let me think. Do I have double white cards in my deck versus double blue cards? I have the Ardenvale Tactician, Stasis Snare, and Dictate of Heliod. Okay. Okay, another Cloudfin Raptor. There's no other flash creature. Oh my god. A Skylasher? A Skylasher. Okay, never mind. This matchup's going to be really hard. Pro Blue. That's like, it just eats Cloudfin Raptors for breakfast. Or lunch. Or whatever meal you want. Oh my. The fact that now, I mean, my approach to this is just hope they don't have it. That's all I can do. We had the Gust of Wind. I thought that was going to give us hope. But now, with the Skylasher in play, I need to... I don't even know what I need. I don't have that much interaction. I have the Gust... I drew almost all of my interaction. I can't imagine they're going to attack me. Unless they have a way to kill my Raptor. Okay. Well, this is just... Yeah. That is a show of strength. An opponent attacking with a Skylasher. Okay. What? Okay. Now, okay. I definitely don't like this attack if this is what they have. Yeah. Maybe they have a situation where they're very close to killing me. Oh, that's good. I mean, this prevents the most damage, but this forces something. Forces them to have something. And I'm just not... Like, they're not going to leave themselves vulnerable to be able to attack with this, so... We'll just let them cast their pump spell. I just hope I'm not dead, that's all. They have to have an answer, though, to the Wyvern here. So... Yeah. Yep. That'll do it. Upkeep, Swift Justice? Or, no, wait, no, that doesn't do anything. Oh, the Ardenvale Tactician, sure. Yeah, this is a really tough matchup because they have flyers as well to block. And they have Skylasher and Basara Tower Archer. Like, I mean, I think a good hand can still possibly get them, but not an easy matchup in the slightest. Let's see, what do I have in the sideboard? Nothing great. There's like a Mizium skin. I think Sphinx might be pretty decent. Frostburn weird. Just don't like the double blue. I think one Keening Apparition is still fine. They got to have some enchantments. Actually, I think a second Apparition is probably good. Then I can cut something else. Honestly, on the play, maybe I just try to tempo them out. On the draw, maybe the Sphinx is better. Just because I get an extra draw step, makes it easier for me to cast the card. And then also, I'm not capable of as aggressive of a start. So if the games go longer, then I want something a little more expensive. But here, I just want to have a nice curvaceous hand. Another hand with Cloudfin Raptor, 2 planes. I mean, this is so frustrating. This is so frustrating. Only just because we've mulliganed 4 times here. I cannot keep this hand. I'll keep this hand. But this is tough. I'll bottom the Keening Apparition. With the Pilgrim's Eye, I mean, I have the Thunderclap Wyvern. I can at least hope. I need to draw a land here. Any land would be good, just to be able to play the Pilgrim's Eye. I'm going to wait 1 turn. Because they had the Skylasher. Okay. Like, what are you going to keep up 2 mana forever? I know I gave up on a little bit of damage. But we'll see how this plays out. I just refuse to believe they have absolutely nothing here. I mean, I still got to go for it, so. Hey, you know what? At least we sniffed it out. The problem is I'd rather they just not draw the Skylasher. Right? I'd rather they just not have the Skylasher. But all right. Well, at least... So this is the mistake that my opponent made. It's like, against bad players, maybe that'll kind of work. But, like, you can't just do nothing on turns 2 and turn 3 and think I'm going to run straight into the Skylasher, right? You just can't. That's just not going to happen, right? So... I should have kept the planes because of... I should have kept the planes because of Stasis Snare, though. So they should have... What I'm saying is they should have just played Skylasher on turn 2, and then if they draw a 3-drop, you just played a 3-drop. And, like, the Skylasher being in play still blocks my Zephyr Winder, right? I only say that because I made the exact same mistake in a previous video. Yeah, but protection from blue. Not sure what to do. Dictate of Heliod, I guess, would be good. Nimbus Naiad would be good. Knightly Valor. Stasis Snare would obviously be good. I mean, Stasis Snare would be the best. Yeah, I mean, they just made... They have a 4/4 reach pro blue creature. Oh my gosh! What? Wow. Wow. I'm going to untap this so this doesn't get Swift Reckoninged. That was insane. Stasis Snare off the top. And then we have 7 power worth of flyers, and the Syndicate Messenger comes into play tapped. Was that like my 1 out? Ah, they have their own Stasis Snare. What do you target? Okay. Hey, I still have flyers with that. They could Savage Punch my Pilgrim's Eye. Thing has Vigilance. You still have a play? Oh my gosh! Are you kidding me? I mean, we keep it in for a reason, right? We keep it in for a reason. They probably have Boon Satyr. Call the ambush? Sure. Okay. It's a very close one. If they have Call the ambush. They lose their creature too. So it's not that bad, but they might still need to do it anyways. They should kill my Pilgrim's Eye, actually. If it's a clear shot, they kill my Zephyr Winder, but... Okay. Call the ambush. Oh. Okay. Okay. Wow, we just drew, like, the perfect back-to-back cards. I'm not saying we're out of it by any means. Like, I'm not saying we win this game, but those were exactly the draws we needed to give us a chance in this matchup. So they have a Messenger, 3 cards in hand. Stasis there is certainly good to know about. And we win a game! Oh my gosh, okay, 1 game to decide everything. 1 game to decide whether or not we continue this game. Wow. Wow. Okay, I like the double apparition. I do. Sphinx is interesting on the draw. Mizium Skin is also interesting. Do I just say screw the Angels? They feel like they've been more of a liability than anything. And I feel like I'd rather just have more consistent flyers and a protection spell. Alright, sorry, Angels. We'll try this. Okay, here we go. Alright. It doesn't get more dramatic than this. We're 2-1, and this is game 3 to decide who makes it into the second draft. Let's get a good hand. Let's get a good hand and put up a good fight. Come on, deck! 2 planes, Island, Keening Apparition, Swift Reckoning, considered Nimbus Naiad. It's not, there's no Cloudfin Raptor, but I'm certainly keeping this hand. Gust of Wind is the draw. Are they going to Skylasher me again? I don't want planes. We got Island instead. Alright, we'll play Keening Apparition. And we will pass. You gonna play our Skylasher this time? I think they should. Oh, it's a Lesnia Charm, sure. Do I block? Probably. I mean, they're on the play. So I think I do. Mentor of the Meek. Let's go Pilgrim's Eye. Do I have any use for 1,000,000 white sources? I don't think so, but I do have a 3rd blue source. This is triple blue, right? All right, let's just go 3 of each, I guess. So here, I mean, I can go Swift Reckoning on the Mentor of the Meek, which is great. Don't like the fact that they can draw a card, but there's nothing I can do about it, so. They're just running out Hopeful Eidolon. Sure. I imagine they're going to attack me. Now, they can have a Skylasher here, which is obviously very annoying. Yeah, I'm actually not sure what to do. It's like, should I just bounce Mentor of the Meek as a tempo play instead of Swift Reckoning. It's not like their deck has a ton of small creatures. And if they do that, yeah, I'm going to do that, actually. Haha! All right, well, they had the Skylasher. I think, given how they've played before, I think they're going to attack me with Skylasher. Trade with everything. I can go Nimbus Knight into Gust of Wind again next turn to slow things down. I just didn't see myself bestowing if their plan is to play Mentor of the Meek. But they're up a card. Kind of. Sphinx of Magosi would be a good draw here. Just glad we managed to deal with Skylasher both times, but as the games go longer, I think they have the edge just because they have far bigger creatures than I do. But that doesn't mean we're not going to try to put up a fight, right? Okay. Hey, Mizium Skin. I mean, we're just kind of all in on this Nimbus Naiad, but we're going to hope. And their hand is seemingly clunky. They missed the land drop, and they have a bunch of good things to play here. So, Gnarlback Rhino, so they are trying to go bigger now. Cloudfin Raptor is super interesting, because I can go Cloudfin Raptor, Nimbus Naiad, or just bestow and attack for 4. I think I want to bestow and attack for 4. Then the question is, do I want to keep up Mizium Skin? I think the answer is yes, but I'm not necessarily winning this race. Give my flying creature flying. Actually, Mizium Skin would be insane because it gives... Oh no, it doesn't do anything. Never mind. It doesn't do anything. The Hexproof fizzles the spell if they target it. We need a Sphinx of Magosi off the top or a Stasis Snare. Those would be some of the bigger draws here. I don't like my spot. My hand is really weak compared to presumably what they have in hand, which is just a bunch of big things. I need a... Yeah. This is a really big turn for me. I need a pretty big draw here. That is a pretty good draw. It looks like they have Ardenvale. What happens if I give this Hexproof? Does it fizzle the spell? No, it doesn't. But I think I need it to be aggressive. I need to be aggressive here. That's really my only hope. That was a really great turn for them, though. Oh my gosh. Yeah, maybe I just let that happen then. I'm so bad with the rules. I mean, look, you can still make the argument that it was correct to just push in damage and try to finish off my opponent as quickly as possible here, right? Just because they have so many cards in hand and we're just kind of out of action. Wow, the fact that they... Okay. Oh, I really don't like my chances here. Oh, land is not ideal. Let's play the Tactician. All right, they're at 8 life. Like that turn, if I drew Thunderclap Wyvern or something like that, that would be amazing, right? But I didn't. 4, 5, 7. But my opponent has 5 spells in hand versus a plains in my hand. So this is... I drew both of my Gust of Winds. That's like my best card. Okay, they get back. Haumph Eidolon. They didn't play it either. Yeah, nope, that's not going to do it, friends. That is not going to do it. Well, you know what? We gave it a good fight. We gave it a good fight. Oh, Dictate of Heliod would be insane, of course. We made a bit of a risk by taking the Dictate of Heliod, which was certainly good for us in the games where we were able to draw it, but I just felt like white was probably a little too heavily contested in packs 1 and 3, where we basically got nothing. And, you know, like I just wanted something. I at least thought that I would get the Lieb Sky Knights, and I did. I got just 1, but you need more of those types of cards in blue-white because blue-white is generally a weaker color combination. You really have to lean into the flying stuff. We got the Wyvern, but okay. Stasis Snare as well, yeah. I mean, let's just put it this way. I mean, if you think about it, just like in terms of our deck, the fact that we were able to get this far, like, it's not bad. Right? It's not bad. Like, our deck wasn't that strong. We ran into our opponent sequencing everything reasonably well, and the Mizium skin was obviously horrible. But the thing is, if they Mizium skinned, if they Stasis snared the Bestow card, the Mizium skin wouldn't have even worked anyways. But, I mean, this would have been, I guess, an Angel. That's too bad. That is too bad. Well, it is what it is. Best of luck, Packy. I'm going to definitely go back and review my draft in this one just to see what I could have done differently. Always important to, of course, do that. It looks like they have Phalanx Tactics as well. All right, good game, Packy. Good luck in day number 2. Yeah, that was fun. We tried it. We tried our best. Look, yesterday our sealed deck, we had one of the worst seal pools I've ever opened, and it was. I thought I was just going to have to go again, and we managed to make it. In this draft, this was just a really, really tough draft. This was a tough draft no matter how you slice it. In hindsight, where do I wish I would have ended up? If I go back and think about what I saw, I think blue-black, like I said, I think the big pick was when I took the second Cloudfin Raptor over Denrova Horror. Because that put me down a certain direction, right? Which is basically almost exclusively blue-red and blue-white. That's where Cloudfin Raptor is really, really strong, right? And that basically made it much more difficult for me to go into blue-black, but we could have still ended up in blue-black. It's not, but the thing is, it's not like I saw a bunch of like Obnixilus's cruelties or anything like that, right? We saw, I think, maybe another Denrova Horror. The other option, though, was to just stay the course with blue-red. Realistically speaking, stay the course with blue-red. Maybe we could have taken a Boulder Salvo at the end of that first pack, and then we took the Scytheclaw Raptor, we had a Slide Runner, we had the Frostburn Weird, and just play whatever is left over, right? Whatever red card is left over after this. We can play the Dragon Mantle. Because we were mostly mono blue. The problem is some of our blue cards weren't the strongest, and that by that I mean specifically like the Angels are okay. Maybe they're better in blue-red because you have more ones. I could have had a couple of Rimrock Knights here. The Archaeologists are definitely much worse in blue-red tempo, I guess. You'd much rather have this 2-drop be like the Rimrock Knights. And I could have done that. But at the time, I didn't have a ton of red. I had a Scytheclaw Raptor. This was my pack after pack 1 or something like that. And in this instance, because I don't really count the Boundary Lands Rangers, like in this instance, you already have a couple of Cloudfin Raptors and you're looking to try to be aggressive. You see a Dictate of Heliod and a Rimrock Knight. What do you take? What do you take? I think it's tough. If I had a couple more red cards, I'd probably just take the Rimrock Knight. If I had a Rimrock Knight already, if I had a Wild Slash, had I taken maybe the Boulder Salvo in the first pack, maybe I would have leaned that direction. But this card is really, really strong. We didn't get to play it enough, but when you play this card, I mean, when you play a bunch of things and you curve out, this card is phenomenal. One of the highest win rate cards in the format. So I took the risk and it didn't pay off as well as I would have liked. But look, I mean, we still got a Sky Knight and a Wyvern. We got the Stasis Snare and we still had enough to build a functional deck. It's just, you know, this deck just kind of ran out of gas. Could have maybe used a Treasure Cruise or something like that. All right, that's enough me just trying to go back on things. I didn't lose in any spectacular fashion or anything like that. I just straight up lost to a green-white deck that had a pretty good matchup with against my cards. And I got super lucky to win that game too. And they had the better deck, so congratulations to them. And sometimes you just don't make day 2. We could have done a couple of things differently. We certainly could have. But this is the decision that I made after all the drafts that I put in. And ultimately, it didn't pay off for me. But that's okay. That's okay. We made it to day 2, and we had a much better run than we had in previous instances. Now, starting out 2-0 and going 0-2 doesn't feel great, but we'll just have to wait till next month for the next Arena Open. That was tough. All right. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Shout out to all the patrons. Thank you so much for your support. It really does mean a lot. Additionally, check out tcgplayer.com for all your TCG singles and sealed product needs. Whether you need some booster boxes or singles to round out your constructed decks, tcgplayer.com is the place to go. Make sure you click that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Last but not least, check out heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories, deck boxes, playmat, sleeves, dice boxes, and more. Go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Not the result I wanted, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.